Do you have a Cricut machine and want to create your own glitter and rhinestone t-shirt design? Stay tuned and I'll show you all the steps on how to make your own. Okay, first thing we're going to do is open Cricut Design Space and start a new project. And then we're going to upload a PNG file. This time you can tell I'm very excited for the new album by Lady Gaga. Also uploading the 13 by 13 inch grid of rhinestone holes. And I will link a video on how to make that because that was a whole process. So I am making the grid 13 inches wide, and then I am moving the Lady Gaga image over it to have it in the best place for those dots. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to make sure that they are both selected and then click slice. What's going to happen is everywhere that the image is, it will give me an opposite hole to work with. So it'll create all the dots that I need to be cut out for the rhinestones, so I don't have to do it by hand. Then what I'm going to do is play around with the visibility of each of the layers so I can figure out which one I want to use, and it's the one where the dots show up as the only thing on the screen. As you can see, I'm figuring it out because I'm not an expert, but we got there. Once I select the right layer, I click on contour, and what that is going to do is bring up each of the circles and show me ones that are a full circle and then the ones that are just a partial part of a circle, and those are the ones I want to get rid of so I can make the design cleaner. And really the idea is that everywhere that there is a full circle is where a rhinestone is going to end up being placed on the template. If you scroll to the bottom, it shows you the most unfinished circles, and you can play around with the zooming and look at it visually and also click on the circles that you want to either keep on there or take off. This was a very tedious process, but overall it's really the hardest part of it all. It is worth it in the end to have a full circle. There you can see I am selecting and deselecting the circles that I don't want. I'm going to come in later and place some circles that are perfectly sized in other areas that I think they would look good. Once I have selected all the circles that I want to keep, I'm going to play with the visibility of the other layer that shows places that had holes, and that's where I'm going to try and place some shapes of a circle to give me another spot where I can put a rhinestone. When I do that, I change the color of the circle, and then the size for this rhinestone is 0.127, and then it makes it a perfect circle that matches all of the other ones. And since I forgot to mention this earlier, the size of the rhinestone that I am using, and this is sized for, is an SS10. So it is not tiny, but it is not large. So once I have the 0.127 circle, what I can do is hit Control D and duplicate it. And that's what I'm just going to keep doing over and over for all of the spots that I want to add them back into. As you can see, I've added all of these, and then what I'm going to do is re-upload that first image so I have a fully opaque layer for the glitter vinyl. and I sized this image to 11 inches so everything matches up. I'm changing the color, and then I'm going to change the placement of the layer so it is behind all of the dots that will be cut out for the rhinestones. So that way I can see how everything is going to line up and where each of those rhinestones are going to be placed once it's all cut out and on the shirt. And I think that's pretty good. So once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to turn the visibility off on the glitter part so I can just see the holes, and then I'm going to select all of them. Once I do that, I'm going to click Combine and then Unite. So when I go to make the design, it's going to keep all of the dots in the exact same spot that I want them to be. With that, I can see where everything is going to be placed once I start cutting. Now we can go to make it. So this is the rhinestone cutting that is going to be on the Cricut machine. My mat is 12 by 12. I'm centering the cutting, and then there is the glitter vinyl that I'm going to use, also a 12 by 12 mat. Every time you use heat transfer vinyl, you want to make sure to click mirror so it cuts it backwards, because when you iron it on or heat press it, it's going to be backwards. So there you go. I've got my machine set, and this was my trial and error of different sizes of rhinestones and materials. Poster board didn't work. I tried this glitter scrapbooking paper. Someone suggested I use that. It cut really good, and then you'll see the results. There is the cut glitter scrapbook paper, and it did really well, except taking it off of the mat, it just completely tore apart. So that's not going to help me. Then I thought, let's try a file folder. I have a bunch of those that I don't really use, so it's a good alternative. I saw people do this on YouTube, so let's give that a try and see how it goes. Okay, so it cut those holes really well, and not too bad. It's a pretty easy peel process. The problem with this is it just was not the right material to put rhinestones into. So I had to bite the bullet and buy some flock that is traditionally used for making rhinestone templates. So here is one that I got online on that easy to use store that ships things quickly. And I will put the settings that I used for the Cricut machine in the description, along with all of the other information and details of this project. So with the flock material, I pulled it off and it cut pretty well. There were still some holes that did not cut all the way through or stick to the mat, but overall it was a really much cleaner process than I expected. Once I had the template all set, I put it on the back of one of my mats to put all the rhinestones onto it. Again, these are size SS10 hotfix rhinestones from that very quick shipping online retailer. And so I thought I could do this with a eraser or a kitchen sponge to place the rhinestones into the holes. There's a tool that a lot of people use that looks like a paint edger. I didn't have one, and I didn't want to buy just one of those specialized tools. In retrospect, I'm going to look into that a little bit more, because while the template is really easy to fill in, I had to do a lot of it by hand with my crystal katana or one of those wax sticks. It's easy for me. It is my zen time to rhinestone and place them like that, so that's what I did. But at least having the holes and having everything cut made it much simpler to place and made it very precise when I went to go heat press it. So along with the template material, it did come with a tape or adhesive for me to put the rhinestones onto to heat press. So this worked really well. I do recommend the pack that I got. So all you have to do is peel it off the backing. I cut it to size, and then you just press it onto the rhinestones. Be very careful when you are placing the tape, because if it pulls up or anything, it can move them around. I actually didn't cut enough, so I had to add an extra piece on the end. But see, oop, that was dangerous, but it made it. There were some rhinestones that weren't exactly flat, so I had to try and press those down and move them back into the spots where they were supposed to be. But being on the template, it was fine. It was totally easy to do and not a problem at all. I did not have to freak out. Alright, we've got almost all the rhinestones set, and here we are with the final rhinestone. Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut the glitter heat transfer vinyl. So this, again, you want to do it in the mirror setting, and the shiny side goes face down on the mat. So really easy, done this a million times, and I'm sure you have too. Not stressful like the rhinestone part. Alright, there is the cut vinyl, and I'm just weeding, yes, that it's really called weeding, the last couple pieces. So that is going to be what we're pressing onto the shirt. And for this, I use a heat press. So this was also purchased a long time ago on that online retailer. When I press my shirts, I always make sure to use a lint roller to make sure there's no dog hair or any dust on the shirt. And I set this machine to 320 degrees. I'm going to press the shirt for a few seconds before I put any transfers down, just to heat it up. Oh, see, there's a dog hair. It's got to go. Alright, so what we're going to start with is the glitter vinyl. That is going to be the base for the rhinestones. I think it will just add some dimension rather than being a black shirt with orange rhinestones in most of the design. So I use a tool that helps me center the design, and then I fold the design in half to see where the center is. And once I'm happy with the placement of it, then I press it down. Here I wasn't exactly happy the first time, so I moved it around, which happens. It's easy to move that HTV around with the sticky side because it's not a permanent adhesive. Do we have it? I think so. Nope. Oh, it's not centered. Is there? Yes, that's where it should be. Very good. Alright, we take that plastic piece off, press that down, take a Teflon sheet, and then put that over the shirt and design, and then we're going to press that for 15 seconds. Oh, I lied. We're not going to press it for the whole 15 seconds because this is a 2-layer process. So after about 8 seconds, take it off, peel the adhesive off the vinyl, then we're going to place the rhinestones over that. Now this is the part that you can see where some of the rhinestones aren't flat, so I just pushed them down and just kind of look at each of them. You can see where they're not exactly straight and kind of diagonal, so just use your eyes and you can just press it. It's no big deal. Alright, it's time to place it. No stress. But having the glitter vinyl there makes it really easy to know where I wanted the rhinestones to be, so it made it a much easier process for me. This one I wouldn't move around as much as the HTV, but still you do have some leeway to reposition. There we go, that's where it's gonna be. That's a lot of bling on a shirt. Can't find that anywhere else. Alright, so we are doing the full 15 seconds for this press. And once it is done, we're going to peel the adhesive off the rhinestones and see what happened. Everything is stuck, nothing is coming off, and there it is, the final product. Now, is that enough? No, of course, I have to do another one. So I thought I was going to put this on the back. I'm going to put this also on the front. So there is the second glitter vinyl. We're going to do the same process as before. You know the drill. And there's the first layer of the glitter HTV, and looks good. Now it's time to place the rhinestones. Again, same process, make sure that they're all flat. When they're not, just press them down, make sure that they're in line and uniform, so when you heat press it, they are flat and don't go anywhere. Be careful, that adhesive will stick to your hand and you could ruin everything, but luckily I didn't. Here's another one. Got it. Alright, now it's time to place it in the exact perfect spot. Nope, not yet. Oh, maybe there. Could be. Looks better. Take your time with this because you've put a lot of work into placing these rhinestones. There's no rush. Make it perfect. I say measure twice and cut once because these materials are not cheap. As you see, this adhesive is really sticky to the rhinestone, so you can reposition it and not worry about it, which is pretty great. There it is, time to press it, and we'll go for the 15 seconds again. And now the moment of truth. Let's see all of the layers together all at once. Look at that. It worked, and there is no problem taking off the transfer tape adhesive. Exactly what I was hoping for. This shirt is going to bling in the sun like no other shirt that I have. And you too can have a shirt that blingy. After I'm done pressing the final layer, I also put the Teflon paper back on the shirt and press it for about 5 seconds just so it has one final heat seal to it. But that is the entire shirt, so I hope you enjoyed seeing the step-by-step of how to make this blingy shirt. If this helped you and you make your own creation, totally tag us. We would love to see it. Also, if you have any questions on how this was done, leave a comment down below. We thank you so much for watching and hope you had a gaga good time. And we'll see you next time. Stay fab and put your paws up.